Ray Green here for Real.com. Well, what can you say about Michelle Yeoh that hasn't been said already? She's lovely, she's talented, a great actress, one of the great action stars of modern times and perhaps of all time. She's most famous in America and Europe for her performance opposite Jackie Chan in the cult classic Super Cop, which actually led to the most prominent role she's ever done, playing opposite Pierce Brosnan as a Bond girl with a difference, a self-aware Bond girl, in the film Tomorrow Never Dies. Well, what we can say about Michelle Yeoh is that she's here, and she's talking to Real.com about a new deal she's struck with a company called Media Asia that may remake the map of Hong Kong film. It's good to see you, Michelle.
Thank you.
So the last time that we met was on the Tomorrow Never Dies junket, which that film obviously was a big event in your career. I'm just wondering, given the fact that the Bond films, when you watch Hong Kong films, which of course, like a lot of people I have for years, you see the influence of the Bond films in so many of them. And I'm wondering what your appearance in the actual Bond franchise with James Bond, what sort of impact that had at home.
Well, you must remember the Bond movie is an incredible legacy that's been going on for since 1962.
Right. And
to be part of that was an amazing experience to start off with. And yes, it did catapult my career into a much bigger audience, an international audience worldwide, to be identified and to be next to Bond. I think the most important thing was the character that I played was the more serious, not the norm Bond girls that you have who's there to make it look, you know, more sexy or more glamorous. It's not me.
Oh, well, no, come on. There's people that would say that you were sexy and glamorous, but you knew what you were doing, which is not always the case. You weren't just an ornament.
Right. I think when they came to Tomorrow Never Dies, I think they wanted to have a difference. They wanted to have, you know, Bond to have a different take on his character and the people around him. And also, you know, the whole film market with women has evolved to such a stage that it would be almost insulting just to have women like that all the time. And, you know, Bond has moved from the 60s, the 70s, now until this millennium. How can he stay like that? He has to, as a character, be up to what is happening day to day. He has to deal with women who are like that. And for me, as an Asian, as a Chinese character, to come on and be an equal to Bond in that way was such a good statement for us. I think in many people's minds it was always the Susie Kwan era, you know. Sure. It was always a very stereotypical...
You only live twice, to point at the Bond franchise.
Right. So, you know, we have to make a difference. I think people also have to see Asian women not just as stronger, self-aware
as
women. Everybody else, as every other woman on the planet.
Now, that's an interesting segue into the reason that we're really here and talking, which is your big Media Asia deal, which is unprecedented for a woman in the Hong Kong film industry. You're going to make 3 pictures with them as a star, and how many other additional projects are you planning to do?
As a producer, this is my first time. I am working with Media Asia, and we have a 5-year deal, a first-look deal. It's taken me a while to come to this point of my career where I'm taking it to the next step. I believe strongly in the films, in making quality films, and especially the talents that are there in the Asian film market.
Right.
And I believe I have found the right partner to be working with on this. So now I am embarking on this new adventure that we will start with our first produced and starring film called The Touch.
Your deal is unprecedented for a female star. That within the Hong Kong industry, I don't know enough about the Hong Kong industry to say that there's been necessarily a double standard. If this were the American film industry and you were the first woman to get that sort of a deal, it would be gigantic. It would be big news.
It is gigantic.
It is, of course, it is. It is gigantic. I'm saying relative to the way that the Hong Kong industry works, I don't know enough about the inner machinations to know just how big of a breakthrough this is. So you tell me.
Well, the thing is, we are announcing it here. We've decided to make the point to announce it in the American film market out here because, you know, all our friends are here, the Americans, the Japanese, the Europeans, and all that. And it's not just a Hong Kong deal. I think the film world has come to such a point where we're just one place, basically. We're making films for each other. We're not just making Asian films or American films or European films. And I think at the present moment we've just found a place where everyone is here at the same time, and we're doing that. Why am I the first Hong Kong actress going into producing? It's not an easy step. It's not easy to be able to find the right path wearing both hats. It's very easy to be wrapped up in your own world, because when you're an actress you have to protect everything that is you in that film, how you come across. But as I've had the privilege of working out here in America, and I've had the privilege of seeing a lot of good scripts, and some of them which are not right for me, and you go on to the next step. It might not be right for me, but I would like to see this film made. How would I move on to that next step? And it would seem the natural progression if I either become a director or a producer, and I've chosen on to take the producing path.
So what you're saying is that because of your persona and the way that you act on film, the way that you read on film, there are certain projects that you might like to see that aren't appropriate for you to be in.
Right.
And therefore you decided that it was time for you to move into producing.
No, I am still going to play very, very much a strong part in the acting. I'm not giving that up.
No, because the acting was already available to you.
Right.
You could have gone on being an actress.
And also, I truly believe there is a pool of talent that is undiscovered or have not been given the opportunity, especially in Hong Kong, in Asia, to showcase their talents. And we would like to be able to do that. I think filmmaking shouldn't be a short-term thing. It has to be long-term. How do we nurture the next generation that is coming? I have taken a lot from the film industry, and I think now I am prepared, maybe at this time, to start giving back more. A few years ago, no, I was very into me being Michelle Yeoh, the actress, and wanting everything for me. But have I come to a stage where there is only so much I can do as an actress, but then there are so much I can do more now as a producer.
Let's talk for a second about The Touch, the first project you're going to be doing with me.
My little baby at the moment.
Your little baby at the moment. Very large budget for a Hong Kong film.
No, yeah, they afford the actress like Michelle Yeoh. It has to be.
Oh, so the Michelle Yeoh, the producer, is paying Michelle Yeoh, the actress.
Oh, it's like talking with the right hand and the left hand. So, darling, what do you think?
The film is reported to have a budget of $10 million, which as recently as 5 years ago would have just been absolutely unheard of.
Right, right.
Describe the film for me before we talk about the economics.
Well, if you think about it, to start off with, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when Hong Kong made films, first of all, they're very concerned about the local market. They're first doing that. But now, if you see the films that Media Asia has been doing, or other films that has been happening in Hong Kong, it reaches out to a more international market. And that alone will justify having a bigger budget, because you're no longer just doing it for a market that is so contained. With The Touch, we would, a lot of people have asked, is this just a Hong Kong-based company doing Hong Kong films? We would like to be able to tell everyone this is a filmmaking company. We're not talking about doing only films in Hong Kong or just doing films for the Asian market.
Right.
We are doing quality, good films that we hope would appeal generally to everyone.
And we should mention for the people who won't know this, that Media Asia, the producing partner in the film, has a film called Gen X Cop,
right,
which is coming out through Columbia.
That's right.
Coming out in the United States.
Obviously Media Asia has taken the right step forward. Why do you think I'm in a partnership with Media Asia? Because I believe they have the vision. They are not so close-looking as to thinking, filmmaking is about us. Filmmaking is about appealing worldwide, getting your films out there so that people can see the stuff that you have made.